Hello, my scrappy peeps. It's Cheyenne from the Pixie Craft Co. Welcome to another scrapbook process video. We are going to be doing a Disney Star Wars theme. Look at this holographic paper. Oh, it's from Craftsmith. I got it at Michael's. It was in a big pack. And then just various other papers that I thought went with the kind of yellow and black Star Wars logo. It is so much fun. Most of those papers you can't get anymore. They're old Disney papers that I've had for almost as long as my son's been alive, and some retired Stampin' Up. I found these little Star Wars stickers and I thought that they were so cute and I wanted to use them. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, I know I want this holographic background to be my background, but I want a little bit of the black to be matted around it. This is when I realized that just because I have paper in my 12 by 12 section doesn't necessarily mean it's 12 by 12. Now, I loved the look of that, but then I thought, you know what, I want to do more to that black background. So I got out my Versamark and my Stampin' Up diagonal background stamp, and I am going to stamp around the edges. I'm not worried about it looking too precise and fancy because I want it to have a almost like metal aged look. And it's so much fun. I loved the way this turned out. It's a perfect accent, and I really feel like it brings in a lot of the Star Wars sort of feel to it. I thought that this ended up looking kind of like a metal piece that you'd find on the Millennium Falcon. So here I have I believe it's the Stampin' Up silver. It's a silver embossing powder. And then I thought, you know what? I want to have some gold in here too. So on one half in a diagonal, I added the silver embossing powder. And on the other half, I'm adding gold. And I love this look. I loved where the two joined together. It was almost like a nice seamless fade. It worked out so well. I was so happy with it. And then comes the part where you melt all of that embossing powder. The one thing I will say is if you're using a Stampin' Up heat tool or any other heat tool with two different settings, make sure you have it on the hot one that's going to melt your embossing powder and not the one that's just going to kind of dry your paper. Yeah, that's how it worked for me today. All right. Oh, I love that. Did you see how that looked? That was so lovely. Loved it. All right. So now I've got my pieces together and I realized all right, I want a little something around the edge. So I've got my flare pen and I'm just doing a nice little black border around. And this really does to help it to kind of pop up and add a little bit of dimension. Go ahead and decide I'm ready to commit to this. I love the way this looks, and I put it together and so nice. Now, I don't know if you guys think this too, but I kind of feel like that holographic background looks a little bit like a circuit board. And there's a lot of tech. I love that Star Wars is a good blend of really techy science stuff and then a lot of lo-fi. We're farming and we've got homespun clothing and stuff like that. I love juxtapositions like that. Not entirely sure that juxtaposition is the correct word. I'm pretty sure it is, but it's been a long time since SAT prep. All right, so I've got my photo there, and that is taken outside of Star Tours at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and I've got a nice little filter over it, and it was just a good moment. We went to Disney in December, and I love going to Disney during the holidays. It's just so magical. All the Christmas decorations are out, and this year the Osborne family Christmas light spectacular was still going on, so we got to see all of that, and it was just really wonderful. So it's just me and my kid here. My mother and sister are with us on this day, and we were just having fun playing in the park. And we love Star Wars. We are definitely a Star Wars family, and so we have to go on Star Tours. And it's so fun. It's a different adventure every time. You never really know what you're going to get. And it's a whole lot of fun. I love it. It's so classic. Oh, I'm just arranging everything, gluing down everything. I did ask my son his opinion before I glued down all of these, whether or not he thought that it was a good arrangement, and he said, yeah, it was fine. So I went ahead and committed to it. So that's what I'm doing here. I've got some foam from foam was from Walmart, really cheap, huge pack of craft foam for like $5, and it's perfect for mounting underneath your photos to pop them up instead of using 100 dimensional dots of whatever brand you prefer. So going through doing that, and now I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do. And I remember that I have this Star Wars washi tape, and I was struggling so hard to get this washi tape started. Like, it kept sticking to itself. You know, washi tape is not supposed to be that adhesive, but the first little bit of it was just so sticky and adhesive, and it kept ripping, and I was so frustrated with it, and I was like, why? And it was just, see, there I am just kind of trying to like gently get a big line out without it ripping, and it did it. And then I'm trying to figure out, all right, where do I want this? I did like the way it looked on top of just the white part, because it did make it pop a lot. But then I thought, you know what, I kind of want to add more lines like all the way across to kind of tie everything in together. And I thought, all right, a little cluster down here would look really cute. I was able to use some of the torn pieces that were driving me mad, and then I pulled out some more of my Disney washi because I remembered that I had it. Sometimes you get a big old art room and you can't remember everything that you have, and then you have those aha moments and you're like, yes, I am brilliant, because I thought of using it this way. Whether or not you're brilliant or not, it makes you feel good, right? So you just kind of have to go with the flow sometimes and enjoy it. So there I've got a couple spots of all the washi, and then I found these at the dollar store today, actually, and I'm like, yes, these are going to go perfect. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of them, but for this project, the two little stickers that I did end up using are going to be fantastic. I might have to send some to my sister, because she is a huge Star Wars fan, like to the point where she's got tattoos and all of that. And that's fine. You know what? If you love something that much, then go with it. Enjoy it. Embrace the things that you love in life, because that's what life is about, right? So she might enjoy having stickers like that, or if I end up having to send her something, maybe I'll just put them all over the package, just excessively. Now, I loved the little Star Wars figure, like puffy stickers, but they are translucent. So I thought, you know what, I want to back these with some paper, and instead of cutting them out, I decided, you know what, I want a little bit of texture around these. So I kind of just like ripped them up a little bit, like just pulled up on the paper to get around the outside of them. And so there's a little bit of the tearing around the edges of them, and I'm okay with that. Like I like that. It almost adds, it doesn't make it look so precise. There's a lot of straight, crisp lines in my layout. There's not a whole lot of distressing to it, so I was okay with adding a little bit more subtle, little bit of texture. And these are just, they're so cute. Look at the little Yoda. He's just so nice. So I put him over with the Join the Resistance sticker. I put the Stormtrooper up with the little Stormtrooper sticker that says power. I've of course got R2-D2 and Leia together, because Obi-Wan Kenobi, you are my only hope. Han Solo and C-3PO sticking out of the side, and I really like that little special effect. They add a little something to it, just a little cuteness. And then I found a tag from a different project. It was punched out using a Stampin' Up! Punch, and I've got my date stamp that I'm going to go ahead and get the date stamped on. I believe I already said, but we did go in December, and it's a wonderful time of year to go to Disney. And I'm going to mention that again in my journaling. Just like how much we like Disney at Christmas and how much we like Star Wars. And I mean, Star Wars really is a fun ride. It really is. I can't express that enough. And I am so looking forward to Galaxy's Edge, like the new Star Wars land at Hollywood Studios. It's opening this summer. Woohoo! Can't wait. Disney is so fantastic at their theming. Like, you really feel like you're there. All right, so here are some stickers I picked up from the dollar store. The dollar store is a great resource for scrapbooking and crafting supplies. It doesn't always happen that you find wonderful things, but when you do, it's pretty amazing because they're $1. So yeah, I'm just putting a wonderful trip and so fun. I love how the gold, like I really feel like it matches up with the Star Wars colors and everything, just really sets it off. And then I'm just going through a whole bunch of different alphabet stickers, trying to figure out what I'm going to do for it. I end up deciding to do May the Force Be With You. There's a lot of Star Wars, like the washi tape has a repeating Star Wars logo on it, so I didn't want to go with that. So May the Force Be With You was, I thought it was going to be good. So I'm using capitals of this gold alpha that I got, I believe from Walmart, and to spell out force, I've got, you know, May the, and then be with, and then I'm going to go back to the U. List a lot of different stickers, a lot of different fonts. I think I'm going to have to do that on all of my titles from now on. Just use 100 different fonts to make a title. I dig it. And one of my tricks that you've seen me do is to use wax paper for my alphas, and I kind of use it for anything that I'm not sure where I want to put it and I don't want it to stick and possibly rip paper, so I can put it on the wax paper and audition it in different places. It also helps me to get all of my stickers out. It helps me with the spatial orientation of everything, like how long is this word going to take up. So there you go, I've got that, and I decide, all right, I'm ready to start to commit. I love how the U tucked in right next to the photo there, but then I wanted the Be With to kind of wrap around the corner a little bit more to kind of make the title seem like it belongs. Did you like those little peaks of my pink hair? Yeah, I like to keep it fresh. All right, and then with force, I decided that I wanted to stretch out the spacing in between, just to give it a little more visual space and just to do something different. And then I'm just tacking all of those on, and you get more looks at my pink hair. I think it's time to refresh the color. Like it's kind of reminded me of a tropical sunset, and that's okay. I can't wait for the warmer weather, so it's my way of trying to bring that all back in. I had a little X-Wing fighter up there to kind of, you know, join everything together, and that is the finished layout. Until next time, happy crafting, and may the force be with you.